So I was reading in the Bible and I am so excited. Listen to this. Okay, so God, He created mankind in His own image. In the image of God, He created them, male and female. He created them. Dun dun dun! You guys, I'm not exaggerating. That verse may be the most important verse in the whole entire Bible for understanding who you are. And here's why. That verse tells you that you were created on purpose by God. So whether you were made as a boy or as a girl, you were designed by God. And drum roll, please. You bear His image. That means that you matter. You aren't just some animal that happened by chance. You have meaning and you have purpose. You're not an accident. God wanted you. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is amazing. Okay, sorry. I got just a little carried away. It's just really exciting. God made you on purpose. So we're gonna spend this month talking about individuality, discovering who you were meant to be so that you can go and make a difference. My friend Graham can help explain what individuality is, so check it out.
Hey everybody, I'm Graham, and I've got to say I'm super excited about today because we are talking about one of my favorite things. Candy! Have you ever been to one of those candy stores that lets you put all of your favorite candies into one little bag? You can mix your jelly beans with gummy bears and top it all off with a handful of M&Ms. The M's stand for and it's all made only for you. Your one-of-a-kind candy bag. Everyone's different after all. Some of you may like hot candy. Or maybe sour's your way to go. I need some water, please. Or maybe you don't like candy at all. Now that's a good radish. We're all different, and that's not a bad thing. That's what individuality is all about. Individuality is discovering who you were meant to be so you can make a difference. We're all created to be individuals. That's why we all like different kinds of candy. Hey, what if we were created out of candy? Like, what if my head could be made out of jelly beans? And maybe some peppermints for eyes. Yeah. Laffy Taffy nose. Twizzler mouth. Twizzler? Twizzler? And of course, some hair. Looks just like me. Okay, maybe we weren't created out of candy, but we were created. And in today's story, we'll learn about our amazing creator. Sounds fun, right? What? I was hungry. See you soon.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now, for an amazing story, inspired by the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verses 26 through 28.
In the beginning, God took nothing and made everything. From darkness, God called out light. God poured out waters and stretched the sky far overhead like an unpainted canvas. He shaped dry land and canyons and great mountain ranges, and then decked them out with trees and vines and plants of every kind. God spun the moon and sun and stars and planets out into space. And then he filled the oceans with fish and the sky with birds. God thought up an amazing variety of animals to crawl and hop and race over the earth. All of this was incredible, unbelievable, the most artistic show of power ever. God made complex atoms and cells smaller than the eye can see, all the way up to vast spaces stretching across the universe farther than we can imagine. And yet, all of this was just a warm-up to God's most spectacular creation, people. People. It's true. We're made of the same atoms and cells and elements as rocks and plants and animals. But unlike anything else in God's creation, we are made in God's image. Then God said,
Let us make human beings so that they are like us. Let them rule over the fish in the seas and the birds in the sky. Let them rule over the livestock and all the wild animals. And let them rule over all the creatures that move along the ground. So God created human beings in his own likeness. He created them to be like himself. He created them as male and female.
You are made in God's image. Now, that does not mean God shares your eye color, or your freckles, or even your quirky smile. But it does mean that you were designed for God to shine through you. You were made to show the world God's love, God's grace and mercy, God's joy, God's peace, God's kindness, God's wisdom. You and every person you'll ever meet are of infinite value because you're made in the image of God. And here's what's even more amazing. God didn't design us to turn into a bunch of little robots who look and act the same when we follow him. Instead, the more time you spend with God, asking him to transform your thoughts and words and choices, the more you become uniquely you. As you follow Jesus and reflect God's light more clearly, you'll be able to do the things that God has designed for you and no one else. So, next time you look in the mirror, remember, you're looking at the image of God, and no one in this world can reflect him just the way you do.
When God created the world, he saved the best for last. People. He made us to be like him. He made us in his image. Maybe that means God looks like us. Or maybe it means God made us with different qualities that could only come from him. Maybe God made you creative, like he's creative. Ooh, or maybe you're really smart because a smart God made you that way. You could be patient, or kind, confident, or peaceful. And you could top it off with a handful of joyfulness. God is all of those things, and he's given them to each of us in all kinds of different combinations. So here's the one thing to remember today. You were made in God's image. Only you were made the way you are. You're one of a kind. There. I'm done with my new candy self-portrait. What do you think? Not bad. I look delicious. I'll see you next time.
When God made you in his image, he gave you special talents and gifts. So I want you to pause this video and talk to your parents about what unique gifts God has given you and how you can use them for God. Okay, so we're talking about personal gifts and talents. I really think that some of my gifts are just, to be with kids. That's why I'm here with all of them, and I'm here with you. So I really think that's kind of my God-given gift. I'm just so thankful that God made me with gifts and with talents It's one of the many reasons why I love to worship God. So let's just do that right now. This song is called I Can Always Trust You. As the music plays, focus on God and thank Him for your uniqueness. You can trust God because He created you with gifts and talents that you can use for Him. So let's worship.
I've got a reason to keep believing through whatever comes my way. 'Cause I put my hope and trust in the only one who's faithful every day. In the darkest night, you are by my side. I'm never alone because I know I can always trust you. I can always trust you every day and every moment. My future, yeah, you hold it. I know it. I can always trust you. I can always trust. I can always trust. I can always trust you. I can always trust. I've got a Savior who will always walk me through whatever comes my way. 'Cause I put my hope and trust in the only one who's faithful every day. In the darkest night, you are by my side. I'm never alone because I know I can always trust you. I can always trust you every day and every moment. My future, yeah, you hold it. I know it. I can always trust you. I can always trust. I can always trust you. I can always trust you every day and every moment. My future, yeah, you hold it. I know it. I can always trust you. I can always trust. I can always trust. I can always trust you. I can always trust. I can always trust.
Great job with worship. But guess what? We have a new verse for you to memorize, so you know what that means, right? Mitchell!
Let's go! Let's go! Woo! You guys know what time it is. Time for our memory verse. Here we go. How you made me is amazing and wonderful. I praise you for that. What you have done is wonderful. I know that very well. Psalm 139:14. Woo! Let's go! Here we go. Let's go. Your turn. Say it with me. Everybody get up. Stand up. Get on your feet. Let's do this. Woo! How you made me is amazing and wonderful. I praise you for that. What you have done is wonderful. I know that very well. Psalm 139:14. Woo! Let's go! Great job! Great job! Memory verse! Memory verse! Memory verse! Woo!
God made who you are on purpose, which means God made you different. So you don't have to try and be like someone else or someone you're not, or change who you are just to fit in. Instead, celebrate what makes you unique. So this month, I want you to send us a video or a picture or an email of something that makes you unique so that we can celebrate you. It could be a talent, maybe a funny story, or something that happened to you. Anything that makes you unique. Okay, parents, if you feel comfortable doing this, just email us your video or your picture or your story or whatever it is to MecKidz@mecklenburg.org. Or to make it easier, just click the Contact Us button below this video. And if you're watching it on YouTube, hit the link in the description to head to the MecKidz Elementary online page where you can contact us there. Each week, we will feature you and your individuality right here in MecKidz. We have only one more thing left to do today, and that's pray. Let's talk to God right now. God, thank you so much for making me with gifts and with talents that make me so unique. I pray that we can all use our gifts and our talents that you made in us to worship and to honor you. You are such an awesome God. Amen. Never, ever forget, you were made in God's image, and that makes you so incredibly special. We will see you next week.
Hey parents, Mitchell here. Before you go, I wanted to let you know about two awesome podcasts on the Mec app. The first is the MecKidz Recap. Our goal is to partner with you, helping you take what we've learned here on the weekends at MecKidz and have it impact your week. So we've designed this podcast to remind you and your kids about the big idea for MecKidz, while giving you a question to help you apply it to your week. We also have a Bible story podcast. Every week, we post a 5-minute story that comes straight from the Bible. This story is designed to mirror what you learned at MecKidz on the weekend, giving you another way to learn about Jesus and amazing virtues like individuality. Both podcasts can be found on the Mec app, whether you listen to them in car rides, before bedtime, or maybe during breakfast. We hope they serve you and lead your children to know, love, and serve Jesus. That's it for me. See you guys next week.